So, firstly, it's super special to be able to worship in however that comes across, whether that's in person, whether that's digitally, through streaming. And while we would all prefer to be back in person worship, I really have to thank the team for everything that they do here. And it just highlights it whenever you're in here, sitting in here, and you see them overcoming the challenges, the hiccups that they have. It's really special. So I think we've been truly blessed that we can worship in this way, even though it's probably not the way that we would all choose to be worshipping. As Jacob mentioned, Bowl met during the week, and we discussed a number of different things, and obviously we've already heard that Pastor Tim and his family are on their way, and we're all very overjoyed for that happening, and we're also overjoyed that we're moving towards in-person worship, and those two things kind of coming into alignment are sort of pointing towards some really special times in the near future for us. In terms of our return to live in-person worship, the board decided that the date of Sunday, October the 11th, is when we're aiming for to return to our in-person services. And I guess before I go into too many details of that, I just wanted to, thank our Emmanuel community as a whole for what they've done in this time, for the people who have managed to provide a way of us connecting through live streaming. That in one way is really special, but I guess for the community more broadly, your patience and willingness to connect in a way that's vastly different and vastly strange for most of you is also really special. So, I thank God for the body of Christ that we have here at Emmanuel, and it's been a really special time, and I think we've been blessed in many ways that we may not realize right now, but we've been truly blessed through that. In looking at the details of what worship looks like coming forward on the 11th, the plans at this stage is that there will be two services. There'll be what we've experienced in the past. So there'll be a 9 a.m. traditional service and a 10:30 more contemporary service. At this stage, we're continuing the live stream, and that will be we'll be streaming the 10:30 a.m. service at this stage. We've also discussed that because moving into the return to in-person worship, there will be a lot of logistical things that we will have to experiment with and overcome. That for the first week, we won't be having live communion on that 11th of October while we figure out just how do we move people around the church. What do the roles of the volunteers look like? How does all that stuff sort of string together? So we thought for that first week, Holy Communion won't be a part of the services. But once we have those movements and we can get a better feel for what the services look like, we'll introduce communion the week after, so on the 18th. Due to the regulations in the church building, we're limited to 40 people here. And that includes people who are running the service, the pastor, anybody who's praying, anybody who's running tech. So that realistically means we'll be able to have 35 to 30 congregation members sitting here in the church. And so that means we need to have a way of managing the amount of people that we have coming to the service. And so we're setting up a registration system similar to what we've been using for the midweek communion services. So that means you'll be able to book online for either service, and if services book out, there'll also be an option to go onto a waiting list. And what this means is that you'll be able to attend. If somebody cancels and lets us know that they can't make a service that they've booked for, you'll be sort of first on the list to come to the service. And if that doesn't happen, you'll also be first on the list to attend for the following week. If you're not able to book online, of course, you're able to call up the church and make a booking over the phone. That's perfectly okay too. We also spoke about considering overflow spaces. So as the weeks go on and we get more comfortable with worshipping in the space and how the logistics of that work, we were talking about perhaps opening up the outside area, the undercover area between the church and the hall as a sort of overflow space where people could perhaps sit there and still be a part of the service, but because it's physically a different space, we can have a different count of people in that area. So stay posted for how that looks, but yeah, we'll definitely be looking into that. Based on the government guidelines, singing in church is discouraged. And Bowl spoke, and we recognise that singing is a really important part of worship for all of us. And so what we're proposing and asking of our members is that if you do want to sing, that's fine, but we just ask that members wear a face mask if they do want to sing. And this will prevent the spread of aerosols, which has been recognised as one of the key factors in the spread of the illness. So I think that should allow us to sing while protecting the people around us. As I mentioned, church will look different in terms of the way that it's run, and we will need volunteers to help with both services. And so in the coming weeks, we will send out, I guess, some details and specifics of how those volunteering roles look. And we'll ask, I guess, for expressions of interest for volunteers to come forward and help us in the running of the services. So that means if you're not already signed up for the e-news, please do so. But if you can't, that's totally fine as well. Just make contact with the office, and we'll make sure you get those details as well if you'd like to volunteer. And yeah, we really appreciate all the help we can get in that. So again, we thank God for his blessings, his many blessings that he's given to us as his people. We're really excited for the coming weeks with the arrival of Pastor Tim, for the return to in-person worship, to be able to gather together and worship our God who loves us so much. So we can, get together and share that love. Thanks for your time, and God bless your week.